So we really just wanted to kind of take a little bit of time today to talk about summer resources. Obviously, you have summer all the way off because you're a teacher.
Right.
Hooray, 2 months off. We all know that's not actually the reality.
Yeah.
But we do want to have some fun and take the time off that you can. So we found some stuff. We did some digging that we thought would be fun for our teachers, but also useful.
No, I really kind of enjoyed researching for this podcast because it's like what you are coming off of a very full semester, full school year, and you are probably just needing a little bit of time to recoup, readjust, relax. I mean, what would you say the 3 R's? Rest, recharge, and what was the third one? Recover. I think it's all of it. There's probably a lot of words we could use. But I think this is I think we can highlight some fun things, but also helpful things.
Yes.
To not only just enjoy your summer, but also to kind of prepare and get ready for the next year and kind of make it even better.
Yeah, absolutely. There are just so much. So we'll start with kind of the business end first. A lot of people have expectations for professional development over the summer. Some schools provide it, some don't. Sometimes you can kind of skip out on the one that your district is doing if it doesn't apply to you and go find something that does.
Okay.
So, whatever that looks like for you. But we have some options for some courses that are actually really good. And they're not, obviously you can pursue more professional development in the area that you're teaching.
Right.
But we found a couple that are pretty universal and really focus on quality of life.
When you were going through the classes that you found, and they're through the teaching channel, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. They sounded really interesting, really important. I mean, it pertains to exactly what the person's going to need. So I think that you've done some great research on these classes.
Yeah. So it's one of our sister organizations, Teaching Channel courses, but they have 2 specific courses that really stuck out to me as a former teacher, things I would have liked to have.
Yeah.
The first one is called Engaging Parents for Student Success.
That's a very interesting and important conversation.
So important.
Yeah.
Every content area, every age group, but you're going to learn ways to create collaborative relationships with parents so that that's not an antagonistic or an annoying kind of relationship.
Yeah.
And you'll have projects, building like outreach letters and little activities, things like that. So really, really connecting with your students' parents. And if you can learn, we want to make your life easier. If you can learn ways that are proven to be effective, you can just start doing that. And then you don't have to keep thinking about it all the time.
Well, okay, so I have a girlfriend that lives in Colorado. She works for a charter system, and she was hired to do the communication piece for parents. So they had the money to actually hire an actual person to take care of all the communication, and she's made it beautiful. And it's like, if your school obviously doesn't have the money to hire an actual person to do that communication, I think when you find these classes, diving into ways to improve how to make those avenues even more open to parents, I think that's very important. But obviously it's important if they're hiring people to do it. So it is an important part of the job.
Well, and obviously that shows, they made that a priority of something to take off of the teacher's plate because it's a big thing.
It is a big thing.
So it's a big thing. We want to do it well, and it can help everyone.
Yeah.
So that was our first teaching channel course. The second one that we wanted to highlight is, sorry, these titles are kind of long.
Yeah,
they're,
read it. Read your notes.
Very magazine-y.
Yeah.
In a good way. Reclaiming your passion for teaching with balance and bandwidth.
Ooh, I like that.
Balance, oh my God, as a teacher, so hard to achieve and maintain. You can achieve it, and then you're there for like 2 weeks, and something happens that disrupts your equilibrium, and you're just gone.
Well, I think when you're in a helping profession like teaching,
Yes.
it is hard to find that balance because you are being pulled in so many directions, emotionally, physically, intellectually. I mean, it's just it is a juggling, balancing act 100% of the time.
It really is. It really is. And so that one, it focuses on kind of time management strategies, helping you prioritize tasks, all kinds of things.
Love that.
But both of these classes are 3 postgraduate credit hours.
You get graduate credit for these
graduate
classes?
credit for these classes.
Okay.
They're less than $500 a piece.
Love it.
The deadline for both of them, you have to have all of your work done by August 15th.
Okay.
And that's always their summer term date. So even if you're seeing this in 2027, it's still going to be August 15th.
Okay. Is it like self-paced courses, like how our courses are set up?
I think so.
Yeah.
The way that it looks online, from what I could see in their catalog and their syllabus, is that they have a really long registration window.
Yeah.
Like 6 or 8 months.
Yeah.
But the term for the teaching channel courses is really determined by the end date.
Got it.
So you could have registered for these courses back in December, but then you have to be finished with it by August 15th.
Got it.
So that kind of puts a little bit of a constraint on being all the way self-paced, but it gives you flexibility. Absolutely.
Well, I think I will have to say for $500 or less to get graduate credit for these classes.
That's pretty nice.
That's very nice.
And to be doing it studying parental engagement and self-care and self-preservation. You know, you're not having to take another way of teaching math, you know?
Right.
Because that changes every 5 years.
Yeah, it absolutely does. As a parent, I know this.
Yeah.
I was learning math again for the very first time when I was helping my kids. I was like, I've never even seen this.
Yeah.
Boxes to move dots in. I was
lines,
like, I don't
whatever.
get it.
No thanks. You just memorize. What's wrong with memorizing?
I don't know.
It's fine. It's great. We love math.
Yeah.
We're both super mathy people.
But that's why we went into art.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay. So the courses, we talked about coursework through Teaching Channel. What were we talking about the other things that we could, kind of recharge ourselves in the summertime?
Yeah. So a big one is, and I know this is very hot right now. Everybody's on book talk.
Yeah.
Reading books. Books are cool again.
Were they? No.
Books are having a moment. I don't think that they didn't. I think
book clubs
book clubs are having a huge resurgence.
Yeah.
People are just reading a lot of books and talking about books. I have noticed in my life, I don't know about you, and here at work, it's just as much as talking about TV shows. It's, oh my God, have you read that book? Oh, I'm reading that book too. And just trading all over the place. We have a book club
here at work. So,
yeah.
I mean, it is true. And I think one of the things is like they said, join a book club for teachers. Like find your teacher friends over the summer and sit down, maybe meet once a month or just meet one time that summer. It doesn't even matter. You're kind of staying connected, but getting into something that might be fun, but also helpful as well. Because you were telling me about a book that it was a historical piece of, or it was a historical book, but you had some funny stories from it.
Yeah, I really love history books and I really love historical nonfiction, but I like it to read like a novel. I want it to be true.
Like a romance novel?
No, like a thriller or something.
Okay, got it.
But and I've read one of these and I haven't read one of these. But there's a book that I read several months ago that was phenomenal, and it was called A Woman of No Importance. And it's about a woman named Virginia Hall, and she was an American woman, but ended up through various channels. Read the book, you'll find out.
Yeah.
She ends up basically leading hundreds of people in the French Resistance during World War II. And she had one leg. She named her prosthetic leg Cuthbert. Cuthbert had a name. And she ended up getting, I mean, obviously she's being hunted. She becomes this very powerful woman. But she escaped France to get to Spain by crossing the Pyrenees Mountains with Cuthbert.
That's crazy.
And so I was telling you yesterday, I'm like, if you're a history teacher, she's a great woman to be able to talk about. She ended up surviving the war. She came back. She trained CIA operatives. It was fascinating. But also, if Virginia Hall can get over the mountains with Cuthbert in the snow, you can do your homework.
Well, absolutely.
Lock it up.
You could also tell that story to your kids and say, listen, it's a learning experience.
It's a learning experience. Yeah. So it's not just for history teachers. It's for everybody. But that book was really great. And then I also wanted to point out, I know the movie was huge, but the book is always better than the
Yeah,
movie.
absolutely.
But Hidden Figures, I realize I'm biased. These are both about women, but women in mathematics
Yep.
specifically, and these women were able to do really powerful things.
Yeah.
And so finding something that is fun for you to read. Reading a book about teaching over the summer, it doesn't have to be, we're in a crisis.
Right.
What is going to happen?
Right.
Literacy. It doesn't have to be that. If that's where you're driven and where you're passionate, that's great. But you can have things to bring to the table from fun, pleasurable reading as well.
I agree. And I think also with reading, we were kind of talking about TED Talks,
Yes.
podcasts. Here we are.
Yes.
You could find some really fun podcasts that you can listen to. And hopefully we can also provide riveting information over our podcast as well over the summer.
We try.
But
you had some TED Talks specifically.
Okay, there was one
up.
so there was one that we actually watched at our retreat this year. And so and I wrote it down because it really is inspirational. I had cold chills watching it when we were watching it. And I think and it's a very popular one, and they said top TED Talk, of the year for teachers. So you might have seen it, you've already watched it, but it's something that you can also like pop back in and just kind of recharge yourself listening to.
Sure, they're so short. Treat it like a pep talk.
And she was so inspiring when she was talking. And was it a guy or?
You remember it much more clearly than I do.
Okay, well.
But what is it called?
Okay, it's called, spit it out. It's called Every Kid Needs a Champion.
Okay.
And it was a very inspiring. So it's Rita Pearson. So obviously it was a female. Rita.
You had the speaker written down.
Yes. So it was a female, Rita Pearson, and it was really, really good. Erica, it was good.
I'm sorry. I know. It was really good. And my memory was, I thought that she was a woman. So I guess that's a good thing.
My face is turning red. Did you get cold chills when you were watching it like I did?
Yes, I did. It was very good.
God. Anyways, but there was like when I typed into Chat GPT, I was like, what are some top TED Talks that teachers can inspiring for teachers or something like that? And that was top one. But there was a list of them. Obviously, you can do your research on your own.
I'm a sucker for a TED Talk. And I know like being an art student, but also interested in things like business and science and things like that on just a
personal
low level hobby situation. There's so much about the intersection of those worlds, and you can find stuff that is interesting. Obviously, the purpose of a TED Talk is to be in layman's terms and be very engaging, but you can find stuff that is about your content area really just, I don't know, kind of gets your brain tingly.
Yeah.
And you can kind of go down rabbit holes and find a bunch of new stuff that you weren't even looking for.
Absolutely. Just type in some hot topics or keywords, and it's like it opens up opens up the world of TED Talks and podcasts and just
TED Talks before TikToks.
Yes. However, TikToks are very interesting.
That's one thing for them. That's true. And then we did look at some podcasts as well.
Yes.
For teachers. We found two different podcasts. One is very practical and very classroom focused and useful. Not that the other one's not useful, but the other one is like very fun.
Yeah.
So like The Cult of Pedagogy is the first one. And it is very, she's very, very practical. It is about things to do in your classroom, the state of education, educational philosophy. Really, really good, like sharpen your tools podcast. Great for like a drive to work. Or the other one.
But you're not driving to work over the summer, so.
That's so true. Great for a drive to the library to go get a book to read.
Love it. Okay.
I don't know. And then the other one, I was going to say driving home from work after your hard day of teaching, but that's not applicable if it's summer, is Teachers Off Duty. And just, it's going to be relatable. It's going to be silly. You're going to have anecdotes, comedians, and you're going to go, oh my God, that reminds me of this one thing that happened in my classroom.
Yeah.
And that's going to be probably really healing for a lot of people to know that you're not alone and other people make fun of their students as well.
Well, wouldn't it be fun to do riding in cars with teachers?
Yes.
It's like you have a teacher in the car and you're just driving in the car with, but we're not Jerry Seinfeld, so
We're not.
yeah.
Wouldn't
Anyways,
it be nice?
but yeah, okay. So love all these ideas. Great ideas are great options.
Yes.
And there's so much more out there, but those are just highlights of ideas of what you can do.
Yes, I mean the summer really is a time to step away from the grind of the classroom day to day, but you are always a teacher and you're always going to be a teacher, and that's a fast-paced, brain-engaging occupation. And so just sitting down and watching a movie or just sitting is not gonna like fill your cup magically.
So what was the saying that you said? It was how to recharge.
Yes, I was talking to my therapist about this because I'm really bad at taking a break.
There you go.
Who knew?
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, chill. Rest doesn't have to be like taking a nap or watching a movie or whatever. It is something that recharges you and makes you feel like you can give yourself a pat on the back when it's done.
Yeah.
So it can be like cooking dinner
Gardening.
for like slowly
Yes.
and for fun, not because you're getting home in a rush and you
You're
have
trying
to.
a new recipe.
We're trying a new recipe. It can be, like you said, gardening. I went out and watered my plants this morning and it was great.
Yeah.
But doing the kind of reframing my idea of rest into a more active and productive state has helped me go, oh yeah, it's okay that I can't take a break from doing stuff because I'm just doing stuff that feels nice.
Yeah. That's
And
the
that's
key.
okay.
Like, what
And
makes
I
you
think a
feel
lot
good.
of teachers, you're so hyper productive all the time.
I will tell you, teachers are very productive because
Yes.
I think they have learned and they're teaching themselves how to juggle a million different things.
Yes.
And so I think, I mean, you always say like type A personalities, but I do believe that teachers, they are constantly trying to think of the next step.
Mm-hmm.
How can I change this? Oh wait, this person's tooth just fell out. I mean, that was like something, it's like what? It's like all these things are happening, right?
So when it all stops, and it's June, you're going, well, what?
Yeah.
What am I? So, we have books and TED Talks and courses that can kind of help you kind of navigate that transition
Yeah.
out of and then back into the school year.
Well, and maybe we can save this for the next time, but I think also talking about, okay, you do have this summer and you are trying to recharge, but what can you do also to prepare for that upcoming school year
Yes.
again? Because that is something that also it's like you have the summer off, but like we said, like teachers actually are still doing things over the summer as well.
Absolutely, especially that second half. So I think we'll definitely be talking about that some more next time.
Yeah. So what we want to make sure that we have everything covered. We talked about courses, TED Talks, podcasts, books, getting together, maybe just having some fun. There's things that I think self-care is just important.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, and hang out with your teacher friends over the summer.
or maybe not.
Or not, yeah,
I don't
depending.
even want to see
But
you.
only the ones that you like, not the ones that are just in your department that are sticks in the muds. Just only hang out with the ones that you like.
I hope that's me.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, this is really fun. It was really enjoyable to talk about fun things. So,
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
okay. Well, until next time. Bye.
Bye.